Hey everybody, it's TheModernNative. So, I have an unfortunate update. Uh, I own up to my mistakes. When I was researching the trails and everything else on the DEC interactive map website, the trails pop up when you're zoomed in at a certain point. So I was scanning through, seeing where they connected, and by appearances, it looked like they all connected up. But I didn't have the greatest signal, so they weren't loading all that well. When I got here, up in my Magic Rock, I have a really good signal. So, a few days ago, I think last week, I was looking through and I zoomed in farther to actually look at where I needed to go left and right and everything else, looking at landmarks, where they crossed roads and everything else. And as I looked, there was two spots that they don't connect. And we would have to walk along the highway for a few miles at two separate points before they connected again. And as I started looking, there was more than a couple of spots that happened. So I needed to re-strategize. I was able to reach out to an old friend. He's coming tomorrow to pick us up down where we got dropped off and bringing us up to the Northville Lake Placid Trail. That trail goes from Northville all the way up to Lake Placid here in New York, and it crosses directly over the North Country National Scenic Route, the trail, the NCT that I've been talking about. So, unfortunately, all this time and all this distance that we've covered, we are now backtracking, getting all of our stuff down there, so that way we can get picked up tomorrow. But after this, we're going to be much closer to the NCT than we started. Going to be a lot less mileage that we have to cover, and it'll be a straight shot. So we don't have to worry about left, right, this, that, and the other. It's actually pretty clear which way to go, and we'll be able to cover mileage a lot easier and be on the NCT very soon. So it's kind of a bad thing, but then again, it's also kind of a good thing because this whole trail and everything else is really rough. It's really hard to get through. The Northville Lake Placid Trail is much better maintained. It'll be a lot easier for us to cover mileage, but I'm just looking at this like it was a good practice, good training. The wife was able to get herself into a better position and a better pattern with me moving stuff and her moving stuff and packing up and everything else. We got the groove down. So we'll be able to cover quite a bit of mileage very fast, but it just feels very unfortunate that it's quite a bit of wasted time to me. And it's my own fault, it's my own mistake. I was really rushed trying to get everything handled, trying to sell the Jeep, trying to sell everything else, trying to coordinate where and what we were going to be dropped off at. This looked like the best trail because it was also very close, but unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. It is what it is. Things happen. Readjust, replan, and re-strategize. So, I'm going to be going over some of our moving, some of tips about leaving your fire pit and leaving camp, and I'll be keeping you guys in the loop as far as our progress and everything else, but that's what it is right now. Alrighty, everybody. So, one of the tips I have for you today is when you are dousing a fire pit, make sure that you stir it around real nice, because underneath, you can see, there's still hot ash, and a lot of the steam is actually coming off the hot rocks, but I always make sure that I really dig into it to stir everything around, because you never know how deep it actually burnt in, and you never know when you're going to find more junk. So, just make sure that your fire pits are completely out. I doused this log, I doused this, so everything is going to be completely out. So somebody really wanted to go and visit some trail friends when they came by, and he broke the ring right off his leash. Did you do that? Mm-hmm. Smiling so proud. He took off, and he was wrapped behind a tree. This one that's there. He was behind it, and when he went to go take off, this clip was connected to a small silver ring that goes right there. And it popped right through. So guess who has to take a walk into town and go and get a new dog leash? Daddy does, huh? Because somebody's a big old brat. So because little brats have some separation anxiety, see, I'm like not even at a camp yet. Stop. We have to stage things up here at the edge of the trail, and we're taking turns to bring stuff to the halfway point so that way I can get it down the rest of the way while she sits with the dogs. So it's like 3 more loads and we'll get everything down. This is mostly just garbage in our buckets, but yeah. So the wife is taking her load while I'm hanging out with the boys, and I will be doing my next load while she hangs out with the boys. Because somebody has separation anxiety. I'm not even at a camp and you're whining. So, that's one of the struggles, is we wouldn't want to leave them by themselves, but it would be easier if they could just chill out and know that we weren't going to leave them behind. Huh? Yeah. We're not going to leave you behind. You're coming with us. Good boys. So, it is what it is. It's a little bit of a struggle, but they're worth it. Huh, you big brats. Alrighty, everybody, so we're down to our last load. I got to work everything down from the halfway point down to the site. I'm excited to be able to share the new trail with you guys tomorrow. The Northville Lake Placid trail is going to be a nice trail to share, and it's going to be a whole lot of stuff I know we got to clean up. That's how people are, it's how it is. But we did have 5 more pieces that I pulled out of the fireplace. I'll be able to add that to the total. I think we're up to 229. Yeah, 229. And that's all set for this site in this area. I'll be sharing our location with you guys after we leave, like I said, because of issues that we're trying to avoid with people from our past. So once we're up on the Northville Lake Placid Trail, we'll be able to share things with you guys more and keep you guys posted. Hoping for a good signal in that area. But otherwise, until next time, get out there, be a native, go beast.